Steve here. uh, I just have a feeling that I'm 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 going to be laughing a lot for the next year, just because I can. Okay, so I did a tarot reading for today, and my cats. Um, well, I have three cats, but but only one of them is kind of technically my cat, and the other one's my wife's cat, and the other one's my stepdaughter's cat. So anyway, my cat, surprising or not, is a troublemaker. We have three cats, only one of them's a troublemaker. And I would say, in many ways, that that's true of the three of us, of the three of the humans. In some ways, I, yeah, I may change, but throughout my life, I've consistently been the called trouble. You know, I mean, my tarot life number is 22 or 0, which is the Fool. And so I embrace it with virtue, certainly. I'm a fool. I'm proud of it. All right, so we're going to do a tarot reading. You're going to have a tarot reading from a fool. And so you can trust it. All right, and there's the cat. And as long as he doesn't mess with the light stand, I'll be okay with her. I might have to start over again, but I think I'd like to leave her there until she starts knocking the tarot cards off the table. We'll see what she does. All right, so today we got for the past, we got the Prince of Wands. Prince of Wands. And Prince of Wands is dynamic, mastery of unlimited creative expression. That would be a Fool. The mastery of inspired creativity. That is totally inspired from deep within, possibly the deep self. The reins are casually thrown over the prince's hand as a symbol of inspired creativity that is not held back and is free to powerfully express itself. The prince in this way demonstrates self-trust and letting the creative process flow and not restrict it or restrain it in any way. There is focus. I don't know about that, but there is focus. Oh, sometimes. Concentration and attention to manifest one's creativity, which is shown by the constant fire within the chariot. Prince of Wands represents a deep passion for one's creativity, which is the completely unfolded flower within the prince's chest. Maybe that's what was happening. And I told my significant other that I felt like this pressure that I was feeling in my chest was something opening. That's very interesting. It's a better thought than like, oh, I'm having the big one, whatever. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Oh, when people talk about channeling information or that they feel lost for hours during a creative project, it's an acknowledgement of the inspired creativity that they have experienced, which is represented by the Prince of Wands and by the cat named Bryn. Okay, so, present. Unfortunately, we got the 10 of Swords, which the word related to it is ruins, but I'm sure it's not going to be all that bad. Although I did make that 40-minute movie recently, so it's not that direction. It's the other direction, Steve. I had them marked out. I have them marked out. Okay, so the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords symbolizes fear of ruin, so it doesn't mean that ruin's coming. Be careful. Be careful of that light. Yeah, I hope I can do this. She's like, come over here and just let them see you on film and know that I'm not hallucinating you. She just got out of the spa. She was there for quite a while I made the other videos and did a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So the Ten of Swords symbolizes fear of ruin. This is a state of mental despair or fear held in the mind to such a point that you have made a conscious decision that things are not going to work out in two arenas of your life, either in an emotional relationship, which is symbolized by the cat rubbing against your light and rubbing against the computer stand. Emotional relationship, you want to just woo. That's you. Like, can't you bring it down? I connect to my deep self. I connect my cat to her deep self, whether she wants to or not. No, I'm just suggesting it. Just bringing peace. Okay. So it could be about an emotional relationship or about finances, which many of us might be having a concern about finances currently. And so it's a fear of ruin. But thank goodness it's not ruin. It's just the fear of ruin. So we're currently clearing the fear of ruin. And I think that's all that needs to be said. We might be clearing the fear of ruin. All right. And so then the last card we got is the future, is the Art Temperance card. And it's a principle of integration, synthesis, and synergy. Those are all hard things for me to say with something with my tongue that makes things like that kind of slippery for me. Anyway, the point, this is from Ken Wilber, who I like very much, Ken Wilber. I actually read his life story, and he's a trippy person. But anyway, Ken Wilber, and maybe from his book, No Boundary. I love how he starts. The point is, or the thing is, to unify and harmonize the opposites, both positive and negative, by discovering a ground which transcends and encompasses them both. So the Art Temperance symbol represents the universal principle of integration, synthesis, and synergy. In order to come into the artistry of who we are, it's important to balance the apparent paradoxes, oppositions, or polarities within our nature. Every symbol on this card represents the union of opposition which creates something new. So if we find ourselves judging, this is right, this is wrong, and all that, we can just focus on what I think was mentioned yesterday. To focus on harmony. To the point that we're just feeling harmony within ourselves. And by feeling that, we'll feel it begin to appear in the world outside of us. So just focus on that. If you want to focus on ruin, be my guest. But I think if we take our focus off of ruin, about all the things on the side of the YouTube channel that says, be afraid, 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 be afraid. And, what does fear produce? It produces poor judgment. And it causes us to make choices that are not in our highest good. And so we're letting go of fear and letting go of fear of tall tales. We're letting go of fear because it's not the most useful state to be in. I mean, unless you're sliding down a hillside like my story the other day. You're out of control. Like maybe being fearful, you're already out of control. Maybe fearful is useful to dump you into a proper snowbank so you can bring it back together again. Okay, that's the Tarot reading for the day. That's the kitty's head. Oh, you can't even see it because she's off Yeah, the camera must be higher. Anyway, that's the kitty. She says it's time to go. She says she's going to knock over the light if I don't get off the internet. And so now let's go.